So I read and then I play a song. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. I think they are connected in some way. They probably aren't. Rimbaud, Redux. You know the question, what is your type? You can sort of answer that, but you don't want to. You don't want to admit to anyone, least of all yourself, that you have a type, or worse, a pattern. But go on, Berlin, you can say. You like the marginal, the terrified, scary adolescent, or near to. The ex-jailbirds, the ones who hurt inside, scratch poetry on napkins and throw them away. The dispossessed, the dark, and the lonely. It's not like any old crumpled up ferocious kid will do. Yours is not some easily tagged Florence Nightingale syndrome. They have to be good looking in that pimply, searing-eyed way. They have to see through my bullshit. They have to be young and pretentious and smart. We always think they're smart. Danny Fields. When I look back at these boys, especially reading again about Rimbaud, I realize they all have some of him in them. Some more than others, as I have some of Verlaine in myself. More than once have they enthralled me, set me on edge, and turned me inside out and far away from complacency. Among these, most of all, was Michael, the kid I met at the screen door of my sister's apartment in Somerville. There he stood in his underwear, out of the blue, panting from the run from his house. "Will you walk me home?" he asked. I'd never met him. I'd never laid eyes on him before this night. Sure, of course I would. We were inseparable for the next year, and the next, and the next. He looked like Rimbaud. He had the same challenging, piercing, ice blue eyes. He wrote prayers and poems and burned them. He aimed a gun at the back of his father's head when they walked in the woods in Louisiana. The gun was loaded and he almost pulled the trigger. He was only 12. From his porch, he saw a motorcyclist beheaded when his bike slid under the tailgate of a truck. He wrote love words on the wall of his bedroom with his dog's shit. He threw matches into the brush alongside a narrow road on Martha's Vineyard. It caught fire. He drove my friend's VW into the ocean. He took off his clothes and boarded a metro bus stark naked. He gave me a black eye after sex. He shoved a Coke bottle up his dog's asshole. We slow danced in a bar for old timers, hugging and near kissing, showing off and laughing. They smiled at us. It was his idea. He dropped acid with me, but because he ground his teeth, or thought he did, he refused ever after to close his mouth. It hung open and drooled. I suppose he was crazy. Of course, I think we all are. But it was all too much for him, and for me, I met someone else, and he was hurt. We always hurt the ones we love. At a friend's suggestion, he went to a camp for tough kids up in Maine. And the kids thought he was gay. I guess he'd made a sloppy pass at one of them. I'm not sure, but the short of it was that he got hit in the lower back with a log and damaged his spleen. It was removed. When he returned home, he had a scar like a railroad track on his belly. Then things got worse. His mom didn't know what to do. He wound up in Marlborough State Mental Hospital. When I went to see him, he was standing in line in a regulation pale blue pair of pajamas, accepting his paper cup of pills, just like the patients in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. A few days later, he drowned himself in a hospital bathtub. It was a scandal. He was not being watched. I went to his funeral. The boys from the camp in Maine carried his coffin. He looked beautiful at the wake, even though he put on weight. I broke down. His mom told me that no one in his life had loved him as much as I had. Still, I worry to this day that it was my tidal wave attraction to him that hurt him most, that set him over the cliff. I still love him, my Rimbaud. He never found the African desert. He never found peace or gentle love. Since Michael, there have been others, 2 former inmates, an artist who again resembles the dangerous one, a fire starter of the soul, a ridiculer, a prescient. My knees buckle every time they seem to find me. You were so good looking that I think you might be sad, and so smart with words that I think you could be lost, and so good at kissing that I think you might be missing someone, and so calm in the storm, so cool, you might be way off course. You know so many people that I think you don't know anyone, and you laugh so hard that I think you're gonna cry. You have so many plans, but you get nothing done. When you tell the truth, it's just another lie. You don't know the reason why. Still I love you, baby. You can hear it in every song. Take a chance with me. Try this dance with me. The night is young. The night is young. May I have this dance? The night is young. Pretend to know the answer, you don't have a clue. Your room is clean, but your life's a total wreck. Your body's tight and your clothes are hip, but you don't make love with anyone unless you're drunk, and now you're feeling less and less. Hear it in every song. Take a chance with me. Try this dance with me. The night is young. The night is young. May I have this dance? Oh, the night is young.